All right. What is up, everybody? It's your boy, Seth. Welcome back to the Big Orris Experience number 4. We are up in this hoe. It's good morning. I won't lie to you. After the podcast last night, we went out. We partied a bit. I don't know if you actually can call that partying, but we went to Chili's, and Chili's was quite something. Let me tell you. There's nothing quite like a good Chili's meal. Possibly a good Applebee's meal can rival it, but not much, folks. Today we have a pretty actually packed show. On Thursday shows, I'm kind of gonna do the upcoming weekend slate stuff that I do. Those videos every week. We're gonna do those on Thursday now, which is very exciting to me. Hope it's exciting to you guys. And yeah. And then I'm going to do a review of all the movie trailers that I've seen this week. Um, uh, and we'll talk about all that. I did not get an Awesome Blossom, unfortunately. Chili's does have the best Awesome Blossoms though, because they come like individually. It's not like the big get up. It's not like the Texas Roadhouse Awesome Blossom where it's huge. It just is nice individual blossoms, which for me, uh, a, a nice little man uh, doesn't need a big old blossom. He just needs a small one. We did go during happy hour though, so beer was on sale. Can you even say beer was on sale or beer was at a better price? Um, But yeah, no, it was a good time. Thank you to everyone who watched last night. It was a lot of fun, a lot of chaos, and a lot of some technical difficulties. But we worked through them. We made it happen, and it was just a blast of a show. Uh, but no, I see. Thank you, Jamie, for watching me once again. Jamie Orris slash Jamie Stevens slash soon to be Jamie Leary. Uh, the best in the biz. Um, One of the best. She's okay. But no, so today, like I was saying, I think we'll probably start with the trailers that I've seen this week, what I'm thinking about them, when they're coming out, and then we can jump into the weekend and what's coming out into theaters. Especially since Jamie can't see anything that's coming to theaters. Might as well make her hear about all the great movies that are coming that she'll never be able to see now. She'll just be watching more Toy Story and Toy Story 2. Um, I saw you got a Toy Story ball the other day, by the way, Jamie. Uh, so you're still on that kick, huh? Still on that Toy Story kick over your place? Fair enough. So the first trailer I do want to talk about is The Green Knight. It did come out this morning. A24's new film, The Green Knight, starring Dev Patel. And it says it's starring also Joel Edgerton, but he's not actually in the trailer that much. So I can't really talk too much on that. Oh, and Frozen. You guys have added a new one. I've got Frozen 2 if you want to borrow it, Jamie. If you want to oh, it was a nightlight, so I was wrong. If you want to borrow Frozen 2, let me know and I can get it to you somehow. But no, going back, so the Green Knight, it looks really cool. I don't know much about it because the trailer doesn't give much away, like trailers should. They should, unlike another trailer I'm going to talk about today that gave basically the whole movie away. Dev Patel, it looks like it's just gonna be a lowly street rat, and hopefully he'll get figured out. Sounds good, Jamie. I'll bring it over today after this. And oh no, you're working. No, I'll bring it to you when you're at home. And it looks like he's gonna become a knight, or as some would say, the Green Knight. And Yeah, the trailer was awesome. It looks really cool. It is directed by David Lowery, who did films like Pete's Dragon, the Disney adaptation, which I haven't seen, but I've heard is okay. He did the film, what is it called? Oh, A Ghost Story, which is very strange movie. Very strange, but very good. And it made me really interested when watching this trailer because this trailer looks like it's doing a complete like 180 twist from that. Looks like it's going to be exciting. Looks like there was some monster effects that went on in this trailer that were absolutely so much fun and a lot of fun to actually see on screen. And that was awesome. I like Dev Patel too. I think Slumdog Millionaire obviously is really good. Slumdog Millionaire is the first R-rated movie I ever saw in a movie theater. I remember our parents saw it, and they there's nothing like there's no reason that should be rated R. The only reason it's rated R is because it's just like one of those movies that has adult themes, right? And I remember seeing that and thinking it was very good. And then obviously he's in a bunch of other stuff, but he was in Lion a couple of years ago with Nicole Kidman and Rooney Mara, my girl Rooney. Oh my gosh. Don't get me started on Rooney Mara. She is my ultimate crush. Ultimate crush. But she's dating Joaquin Phoenix and he just won an Oscar. So I don't know how, much that really plays well into my court of ever dating her. I don't have an Oscar. I have, the closest I'll get to an Oscar is, if I get a dog and I name him Oscar. But no. But it looks awesome. Looks interesting. The monster that we see in the trailer looks really cool. The effects look awesome. And yeah, that is The Green Knight. It's a pretty short trailer overall. But I do want to talk also, Wes Anderson has a new trailer out for his film, The French Dispatch. And Wes Anderson is a filmmaker I don't think I've truly appreciated until I just started reviewing movies back in December again. Like, strangely enough, I always liked him. I always thought he was a good filmmaker. But even just watching this trailer today made me realize how much I actually appreciate what he puts into his films and how artsy fartsy he is in a way. And I know a lot of people are not into that artsy fartsy thing, but I won't lie to you. I'm into it. And his set design is insane. His shot choice is crazy. The way he uses headspace between his characters is something else. And I really freaking love the trailer. And the amount of stars he's got in this thing. He's got Owen Wilson, Bill Murray, Benicio del Toro. He's got Timothy Chalamet. He's got Saoirse Ronan. He's got Elizabeth Moss, who is a Scientologist, but we still love her. And I don't know why I had to say that. I apologize. We've got a lot of people. We've got Tilda Swinton. I already said Owen Wilson, but there's a lot of actors that he's worked with before and that just makes sense for him to work with again. And the movie looks incredibly interesting and like a movie that I will be seeing multiple times in theaters just because of how pretty it looks and how great it looks. He has that comedy that's very, again, he's very comically artsy fartsy. I said back in December, when I started looking that I just love his films. So that's The French Dispatch. Um, Again, I, you know, I realized that talking about trailers, I feel like, because the show, obviously, we're at about 10 minutes on the show right now. And I'm like, man, Seth, you're not covering too much time. But there's not much to say about these trailers. I mean, they're good. All three of them. This next one, I'll probably have a few things to say, but after that, we'll just talk about the weekend slate and see what's going on. No, but next, we have The Hunt, which The Hunt is a film that last year got pulled right before it was about to release to audiences. It got pulled from the release slate because of, I believe, well, there was a lot of stuff. It was very politically charged why it got pulled. The movie is basically just like a Most Dangerous Game adaptation, which I'm really into. I wrote a screenplay that's an adaptation of the Most Dangerous Game, so I definitely love that story. I just love man versus wild and man versus wild, and I think it's such an interesting concept. And The Hunt, it looks like, is doing that. The basic story, as far as what I can see, is these these people who are seemingly the lower class or poor are taken by high level liberals, like executives, and they are hunted for sport. They're kind of like kidnapped, put in like the way they all come together for the first time in this field, and then they have like they find guns and stuff that they can use, and then it looks like they're all getting ready for what you would almost call the hunt. And they're really leaning into this whole idea of, we this movie was pulled because of politics. Um, this movie was pulled because there was a point when I believe, and if I'm wrong on this, forgive me, but I believe Trump tweeted something about the movie, um, and after that it was pulled. So it's definitely leaning into that. The most talked about movie that you didn't see or that you haven't had the chance to see, is one of the taglines. The poster now is just that a pig, um, sort of, symbolism, as it were, or whatever you want to call it. And it looks interesting. I'm really into just the overall concept of the story. I'm not too much all about that political stuff. I don't. I could, I could give it or take it. No, I could receive it or leave it. I like that one a little bit more. It has a nice rolls off the tongue. Very good, very good. But no, I just don't. I don't feel like I need. So I don't feel like I need something like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't. When I watch movies, I don't want to think about politics unless the movie is directly talking about politics. I don't want to have to worry about the actual real life politics of it, if that makes sense. But no, it's like I said, I can take it or leave it. The movie looks very interesting. Looks like it's gonna be fun. Looks like it's gonna be bloody as hell. Um, so yeah, I'm into it. It definitely it looks good, and I'm all about it. It was quite the night last night. I'm telling you. This morning I woke up and I said, "Man, I'm tired." Oh, but it's okay. I've got a lot to do today. I've got a good thing though for me today is I don't have to go to the gym. So I can just stay home. Or, well, not stay home. I can go do stuff that I need to do because I don't have to go to the gym, which is nice. Oh, but no. Let's talk about the upcoming weekend film slate. There's some really actually cool movies coming out this weekend. First things first, which I'm seeing in like, oh, I forgot about that. I'm seeing in like 3 hours is Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm gonna go see it, and I'm I can again receive it or leave it. I don't need it, but I'm excited to watch it. I really think I'm excited to see Jim Carrey, and I've heard actually some pretty solid things about it. Heard some people say they think it's pretty good, so I'm really excited about that. Seeing that one first today, and then tonight I'm going out to the Regal out in Taylorsville, and then well, maybe not that theater actually today. I don't think. I think that's whenever. But seeing the photograph, which is great. Well, I haven't seen it. I can't say it's great. I've heard great things about it. Lakeith Stanfield's great. Issa Rae, I believe, is how you pronounce her name. She's really awesome. And so the photograph Downhill, starring Will Ferrell and Julie Louis Dreyfus, which I've heard actually terrible things about. I've heard that it's legit bad. So we'll see how I feel about that one. But I also heard one of my one of my favorite people on YouTube to kind of just hear talk about movies, said he really loved it. So I'm excited to be able to form my own opinion on that and see what comes from it. But let's see here. What's the last one? The last one is Fantasy Island. That's it. Fantasy Island is the fourth movie I'm seeing today, which is a horror film. And it's definitely, I mean, it doesn't look very good, but I'm excited to see it and see what I think. By the way, Jamie, I don't know if you tuned in last night, but I don't know if you're a big fan of To All the Boys I've I've ever loved. It's a Netflix film. It's a romantic comedy. I feel like that's a movie you would be into, maybe if you enjoy that kind of thing. But the new film, To All the Boys I've Ever Loved, P.S. I Still Love You, on Netflix now. It's terrible. It's so bad. It is quite possibly the worst movie I've seen this year, and that's saying a lot considering I've seen Doolittle and a few others. But it's really bad. No one should have to see that, and I just wanted to mention that again. I'll sing that till the day I die. I'm glad you liked that one. Don't watch the second one because it pretty much, for me, honestly ruins the first one. It retroactively kind of makes me not like the first one because the second one, the characters change in such a rapid way that makes you kind of hate the characters and think that they're bad, like bad people. Because it's basically the main girl, Laura Jean. This is all in the trailer, but she's thinking like one of the boys that she wrote a letter to that wasn't really mentioned through the end of the first movie writes her back, and she then is already in a relationship with the other guy, Peter, and but then she's like, maybe I should, think about being with him, and that's the whole movie. Her just trying to figure out who she wants to be with, but she's already in a relationship. I'm like, man, these girls, this is why. This is why. Well, this isn't true. I would be in a relationship if I could, but I'm like, what are girls doing to us guys? You know what I'm saying? At least Laura Jean. And then, yeah, it's just bad. I feel like they kind of probably rushed the film too. I think that they probably just wanted to get it out because the first one was so well liked on Netflix that Netflix is like, we'll throw all this money at you if you just hurry and make the sequel. Um, but no. But Fantasy Island, yeah, that one will be interesting. You can check out reviews for all those on the channel this weekend. Is my plan. I plan on doing individual review for all of them. Portrait of a Lady on Fire, Thoughtin' and Bottin'. What's up, James? Thank you so much for being in the live chat last night and supporting, and also obviously today. Uh, Having you watch is always a pleasure. You're a good dude indeed. But no, Portrait of a Lady on Fire is another movie I'm very excited to see this weekend. But showtimes haven't been like distributed anywhere. But it's said on its website it's supposed to come out in Salt Lake City this weekend. So I guess we'll just have to see. It's one that I've been waiting for. So it'd be nice if it could come out a little bit quicker. We also, of course, just looking at things, Birds of Prey, which is already in theaters, very, very good. Obviously not making too much money. They obviously changed the name in theaters, Harley Quinn, and the Birds of Prey, which I don't know why they didn't just name it that originally. Literally at the screening, I said to my friend who came with me, I said, I don't know why this movie just isn't titled Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey or Harley Quinn blah blah blah, because it is her movie. She is the star. She is the number one main character. So it just didn't make sense to me, which I'm like, whatever works for you guys. And obviously that didn't work for them. They didn't make not a lot of money, but they didn't make very much money last weekend. That's why they changed the title. But go see the movie if you haven't and you're looking for a fun action movie in theaters. It's really one of those movies that I feel like if I had not seen already, I would be wanting to just go in the theater, grab a bucket of popcorn and just hang out and chill, just have a good time. I'm all about that. Also, one of my one of my cords gets here today. Today's a very good day, and I'm kind of all over the place. I think I might be, I don't know, and maybe someone could answer this in the chat. Can you develop ADHD as you become older? Uh, because I think I might have it. I feel like my mind is all over the place at all at all times. But yeah, let me know. If not, maybe I'm just changing. But no, we also Bad Boys for Life and The Gentleman are two movies that are, again, so much fun. Great movie theater experience. Uh, Action's great. Both of them are very well. The Gentleman is more crass than Bad Boys for Life, but Bad Boys for Life is still, it has its moments. Will Smith is the best he's been in a long time. Martin Lawrence is the best he's ever been, in my opinion. And yeah, it's really good stuff. Really good stuff indeed. Now, I'm trying to think. That's the thing is, well, Sonic the Hedgehog is now going to be the kids' movie that's out. I do believe Sonic the Hedgehog will probably top the box office numbers list. I think that it just makes sense considering it's the first kids movie in a while and it doesn't look half terrible and the reviews are actually pretty solid for it. So I can see it making some good money this weekend and even I think it will probably top the box office. If not that, then one of these romantic comedies will probably do it. We'll just have to see. What movie do you guys think is gonna make the most money this weekend? It's one of those weekends. I mean, the last kids movie that came out was what, Doolittle? And Doolittle absolutely bombed for good reason. It's not good. It doesn't work as a kids movie because it's boring. Like I said in my theater, the kids, I promise you, it did not seem like they enjoyed the film at all. So it's kind of one of those things of, well, what's going on here? What's actually happening? Fart jokes aren't always the best, which I love fart jokes. I think fart jokes are incredibly enthusiastic and very funny, but it just didn't work for me there. Yeah, James, I agree with that. I think Sonic will for sure top it. I just think there's a lot of also intrigue around it. Even like obviously kids aren't in the know as far, and maybe some are, of like them going back and changing the graphics for Sonic, changing the movie around to have Sonic's look change and all that good stuff. But I think people are kind of excited to see what it actually is going to be like at this point. And I'm all there for it. I mean, I like the idea that I don't think it should become a precedent, but I like the idea that a studio came in and like listened to the fans through a trailer, and fans were obviously very upset and it looked very weird. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Sonic, so I wasn't really too into it. I wasn't like screaming from the mountaintop to social media, but I was like, it definitely looks weird. I mean, he definitely has human teeth. I don't know how I feel about that. And them going in and fixing it, and it looked a lot better in the trailer. So, yeah, I mean, for that, they'll definitely be receiving my money. I don't see any problem with giving them a little change, a little pocket change tonight. And yeah, I feel like on days like this when I know I have a big movie day, because what I'll probably end up doing is seeing Fantasy Island, Sonic, and the Photograph tonight, and then I'll probably see Downhill and Portrait of a Lady on Fire tomorrow, just because I feel like at a certain point, seeing 4 movies in a day, it gets to a point where you can't really enjoy the final 2 films. You see the first 2 and they're fine. If you're only seeing 3, I feel like you can chill with that. But you're in for like a fourth or a fifth, and it's just like, okay, here we go. It's more of a chore than anything, and that's not fair to the movies themselves, which is why I don't really do that anymore. I try and kind of span them out, which I'm at this point in my YouTube career, if you can call it that, I guess. I'm not worried about exactly like getting my video out the quickest for views at this point. I'm just trying to make good good videos that get my points out there and let the people know what I think about these movies. Because at the end of the day, I can have all the views in the world, but if the stuff I'm making isn't worth making or isn't me putting my true all into it, then what's the point? Is kind of what I look at that about. And I also realized today that I think this will probably, unless I have guests on the show every day, probably just be a 30-minute show. I was thinking about an hour, but unfortunately in the world of movie news, there just isn't that much to really talk about. If anyone in the chat right now, which it looks like is just Jamie and James, which is fine. If you can think of any movie news that possibly you'd like me to talk about, or anything about life that you'd like me to talk about, I'm all there for it. I am very much at the point where I love talking about more so the movies, just kind of like life, what movies mean to people, and all of that good stuff. But no, so we'll probably wrap up in a few minutes here. But if anyone in the live chat, like I was saying, has any comments, any questions, pull them in. Let's talk about them. I am very grateful for this. Obviously, I'll be live again tomorrow at 11 a.m. again, and I'm very happy with how this first week so far has gone on this show. We have, every day we've definitely had people in the live chat watching the videos, which is awesome. Yesterday was super successful. We had a ton of viewers throughout the whole thing. We had a lot of commenters, and we just had a good time. That's what I like to do, is just have a good time with my friends and talk about movies, talk about life, talk about, heck, we got into airplanes yesterday, which I, would have never considered thinking that we'd be talking about airplanes, but hey, I'm all about it. But no, yeah, at this point, freak, I'm gonna give it just a little bit. In the live chat, we've got about a minute and a half before the 30-minute mark, when I'm gonna kind of cut this off, and then I think so too, James, and I think that's something that I'm thinking I'm probably gonna look into. I think tomorrow I'll probably do 11 a.m. again, and then I think over the weekend I'll probably do a little bit of polling maybe and see, because last night obviously the 6 p.m. time mark really worked. I also think it works with movie news coming out through the day, movie trailers coming out through the day. You can watch them you can talk about them more at night because it's the news of the day. And I agree. I think that it is a very good idea, and I appreciate that feedback. I think that's great feedback that I will definitely put into my front pocket. I was going to say put into my back pocket, but I just don't think it's a back pocket type of thing. I think it's one of those things that I want to remember that's there today. So I'll think about that. I definitely appreciate you. And Jamie obviously chiming in, yes, night. I'm all about that. I think that's a great idea. And no, I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna have that wrap up the stream. I think that's awesome. You guys rock. Thank you for talking with me about movie trailers this weekend, what I think you should see. And I am on Reddit. Yes, I am on Reddit, James. But I'll probably DM you, James, personally. Maybe we can chat a little bit. Maybe I'll get some tips from you, because I know you're kind of ingrained in this whole live media. But no, thank you guys so much. And until next time, guys, Film Sleep Repeat Studios. Peace out.